Hi, I'm Kelsey Humphreys. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Pursuit. This is a Pursuit Power episode because I know if you're building your dream and growing your business, you don't have time to be watching videos or listening to podcasts all day. So we've compiled some of the most popular questions and some powerful answers into one quick video. Enjoy this Pursuit Power episode. What's your number one piece of advice that you would give them in their pursuit? What's your number one piece of advice for them? What would your number one piece of advice for them be?
Be a student.
Read and be a student of personal development and business development.
Try to be as curious as possible about everything.
Every entrepreneur out there, we leave trails of stuff. You can always find what we did.
Great.
We have products, we have blogs, we have videos. We leave all that information out there.
Be a student.
I love that.
Figuring out everything from scratch, watching what other successful people were doing.
And then I said, what are they doing? And how can I implement that in a way that works for my blog?
And was like, how can I make money doing this?
Yeah. And you say, what are they doing well? And I don't need to do what they're doing, but I can get ideas from them that might work for me.
Smartest thing that I really should say that I did, and my biggest early success, was making that realization that I needed a mentor.
Most importantly, connecting with people who had been there and listening to their advice.
So I looked out there to the podcasters that were currently at where I wanted to be. I think that's so critical. So many people go after mentors just because they're successful at something. They need to be successful at what you are wanting to do. They need to be where you want to be.
And really also not being in a race, being patient and being willing to be small and scrappy and not know what I was doing and build it slowly over time. Like I said, I had side jobs for like 7 years and I meet people, they're like, oh my God, this is 4 months and I'm like, are you kidding me?
If you were to sit down with someone at the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey, and besides telling them to start, because I've heard you say that a lot, like just get started.
Yep.
So besides that, what's the number one piece of advice you'd give them?
Get comfortable with fear.
Never let your small business make you small-minded.
The biggest mistake I made in my career was I thought too small for too long.
Too many people's vision is caged in their current circumstances or their current competencies, what they're capable of.
Yeah.
I always say you have to raise your ambition beyond where you're capable of now.
It's all about commitment and it's asking the right question, because when you step out and do this, because I had a number of friends that were kind of doing things simultaneously with me, and next thing you know, they would close up shop or they would say, hey, I tried it. Next thing you know, they're working a 9 to 5. And so for me, I think the question is always, they were asking, well, what if this doesn't work? And I always start with the question of what if it does? And so my question all along the way, what if this does work?
So whenever you're starting to feel fear, uncertainty, and doubt, reframe that as positive indicators that you're moving outside of your comfort zone. And as an entrepreneur, it's essential.
Especially these young entrepreneurs, the two things they need to know is what is profitable, what is really, where is your revenue stream really coming from? And then two, what are your passions? What are you going to be able to drive for a long period of time?
No, I think just like it's just important to just, try to find your voice, and it's okay to make mistakes and just keep making stuff. Like, I think just being passive is the hardest thing because you're waiting for someone to spot you, and it's easier to write your own stuff.
If you've got an eye and amazing vision and you bring a unique approach to the game, then you're set. Like, it's not about all this stuff, and this stuff is fun and I love it and I have endless sponsors. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. It's like it's all about your heart and your vision.
Be yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. When they take everything else, they cannot take that away.
Number one piece of advice for entrepreneurs that are just starting. Be prepared to serve.
Work.
A Mark Twain thing, like, the harder I work, the luckier I got. It was just a lot of hard work.
Work!
You have to work every day at it. But just keep going, just keep writing. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's not all glamorous. It's a lot of hard work. It's not fun all the time. It is a lot of long days.
For us, it was that constant effort, being told to always put in the hard work.
Everybody's got ideas. A billion ideas are going to be thought through by people today that could be $100 million businesses in 6 years. But like 4 are going to execute on them.
You can start growing your brand within your community, within your city. From there, maybe you expand to, something across the country. With the internet now, the nice thing is you can really get your brand out there and it doesn't have to cost you a whole bunch of money.
So work, patience, and the biggest one of all, I'm going to leapfrog, self-awareness. You have to know who you are.
Here are my keys to success when you're just getting started. Number 1, learn as much as you can. Number 2, believe in yourself and in your vision. Number 3, be willing to try things and make mistakes. And number 4, work. Work and more work, which includes being patient and also, guys, more work. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget you can see full interviews at thepursuit.tv. And if you want to take content on the go, now you can listen to The Pursuit on iTunes and Stitcher. And if you've watched the show for a while, I hope you'll go consider leaving a review for us on iTunes to help spread the word about the show. I'm Kelsey Humphreys, and I'll be back soon with another episode of The Pursuit.